Hello fellow collectors and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we are taking a look at Deluxe Class Arcee from Transformers Earthrise War for Cybertron Trilogy. Some nice artwork here on the side. On this side you have the kind of standard Earthrise pick that we always get. Not too much going on the top or bottom. Spin around to the back. You have Arcee standing on the back half of her vehicle mode. I don't really have high hopes for this one, I'm going to be honest. I almost wasn't going to get it because they're doing a repaint of this as like the Paradron Medic or something like that in that 2-pack with Ratchet. So I was already going to get one version of the mold. And I don't know, I've not heard the best things about this. I'm trying to stay open-minded, but we'll see how this goes. I think the vehicle mode looks okay, and I think the robot mode looks okay. But, you know, she's very much a shell former, and that's kind of a bummer. But we'll see how it goes. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to get her out of the box here, and we'll take a closer look. Okay, wow. So my worst fears were 100% realized. So here she is in robot mode. Here is the entirety of the vehicle mode stored on her back. So we'll start here. If you want to take the backpack off, you unpeg these two pegs here. You can see that there's two large pegs right there and there. And then you come down here and there's this button you can see right here that you push in. And that will release this like white pincer claw piece, as you can see here. And then you can just kind of tuck this back in. I think they want you to push this in and push it all the way in. And then she's supposed to stand on this, because for some reason that makes it cooler. I don't really understand why. I mean, she's got peg holes in the bottom of her feet, so she can stand on it. If I can line them up correctly. So yeah, she's sure standing on that, but not well. I mean, I guess I could probably put some effort into lining this up, but I don't know. I guess it's supposed to be like a surfboard or something, but I don't really get it. I mean, she's never had a surfboard before, so I don't know where this is coming from. They just didn't know what to do with this. I mean, it's nice that they let you take it off, because having it on the back looks terrible, so I at least appreciate that, but just put that off to the side for now. So, if you're just looking at this as an Arcee, like, action figure, like if this was a red figure, okay, it's okay. You know, the kibble on the back is minimal. And I mean, she looks good aesthetically in robot mode. The head sculpt looks good. You know, the proportions and everything are good. She's got plenty of articulation. Head can move from side to side. It's very tight though. And I don't think it has any up and down. I think it's literally just a swivel from side to side. But again, head sculpt looks okay. You have a hinge in the shoulder as well as a rotation. You have a bicep swivel, 90 degrees, even a little over 90 degrees in the elbow. Wrist can kind of move in and out a little bit. You have a waist swivel. You have a hinge in the hip, so you can go front and back as well. Then you have a thigh swivel, and then you have kind of a second thigh swivel for the transformation. I don't know why they couldn't make it so... I mean, they gave us two, which I guess is good, but I feel like I don't need two literally right next to each other. Then you have a double jointed knee, and then you have ankle tilt. Well, actually, I should say back and forth for the ankle. You do have ankle tilt, but it's kind of weird in the way that it seems to like all the way or not. Like you can't kind of gradually do it because it wants to kind of snap back and forth. And maybe over time the joint will get a little bit better about that. But it seems like when I try to do like somewhere in between, it doesn't really like that. It kind of either kicks all the way to one or the other, which is kind of a bummer. And then you can see the gun that she comes with is very plain and almost doesn't even fit in her hand. I mean, it does, but you can see how because it's a rectangle and they gave her a circle-like hand to grasp things. And I'm convinced that this thing is here so that way it doesn't fall all the way through her hands. As you can see, there is a tab on the side. And why it's made of this weird, like, translucent plastic, I also don't understand. It's kind of a weird choice. So, alright, I mean, that's fine, I guess, but it's still a weird choice in my opinion. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, if you just want an Arcee to put on your shelf and you know, you just want this is okay. You know, the action figure robot mode of Arcee is not bad. But the transformation is a goof, and when you put the giant backpack on, it looks absolutely terrible. So to put this back on, you have to swivel this back around, and then putting it back on is always a pain for me. I don't know why. You have to like find the channel and you get it to line up, so you have to put this in like so, and then this side always has trouble clicking in. Oh, okay, it actually did it first try there. I always have trouble with this kind of goofy button. It never wants to work, and then you just have to rotate this back up and peg it back in. So there you go. So I mean, having the full backpack on is ridiculous, and also it makes her so top heavy that she constantly wants to fall over. But I mean, again, I think the detailing, the paint applications are good. The backpack is terrible. When you deal with half the backpack, it's not as bad. But yeah, so if you just want an Arcee figure to put on your shelf, or maybe have like a group shot with all the other Autobots from the movie or something like that, okay, she looks okay. But we gotta check out the transformation because it's not great. Alright, so basically how this works, you're going to take this piece and kind of flip it around, fold out all of this stuff. It's all panels. You're just flipping out all these panels. You form the whole back part of the vehicle. Then you come to the top half, you fold this out, you flip out these pieces, and these pieces are kind of a pain in the butt to actually flip out because so much of the body is in the way, and it doesn't really do all that great of a job getting out of your way so that you can actually flip these out. I guess try to reach from the back down here. So there you go, flip that out, this piece flips out. Okay, now you have the front of the vehicle. Now you literally bring this in. You got to make sure there's these tabs, just so you're careful. This tab right here and this tab right here, you got to make sure you kind of lift up and then push this part down because it's on this kind of, you see this big pink plastic peg there, you got to kind of push that down. As you push that down, you kind of have to scoop these tabs underneath, and then you can push it all down. And then you just kind of click this in place as best you can. It doesn't even really click into place all that much. But that's the entire vehicle mode, just as a turtle shell on her back. That's it. She doesn't really transform at all. So, just the epitome of a shell former. And these panels don't stay together all that well. I don't know why. I think it's because like these panels don't peg in all that great, and then you can see how it doesn't really line up all that well. And I don't know why that is, but so trying to get all that to line up is not great. But anyway, so there's the whole vehicle mode. Now what you're supposed to do is turn the head around 180 degrees, basically so it's just not staring at you underneath, and then kind of tuck the arms down as best you can, and then you kind of push this up, or actually I guess you push this down. Just push this down as best you can to get her to fit inside the shell. So push that down as much as I can, which I feel like it should go down more than this, but it's not really. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. This is not... Oh, I see. So this giant peg, you can see, if I can light it correctly, there's this giant spot down here that's supposed to go in. So apparently I was doing it wrong. I wasn't quite getting that to line up, because obviously if she can't get that in the right spot, then it's not going to work out. So make sure that's lined up. There we go. Okay, now that that's in there, you can tuck all this in, make sure that's in there. Okay, so now you just have the legs hanging out the back. You fold the toes down like this. I mean, I guess technically if you wanted to just drive around with the legs hanging out the back, you could. But you're supposed to, that second thigh swivel, and it's really tight. Really, really very tight. You just do that, use the double jointed knees, and just kind of tuck this under here. Nothing really pegs in. Nothing has a designated spot. It's just fold up the robot mode as best you can and tuck it under the shell we gave you. And I mean, you could probably do it a little better than this, but whatever. it's not gonna matter. That's it. There you go. There's your vehicle mode. There's your completed transformation. So I mean, honestly, when you just kind of look at it like this, the vehicle mode isn't terrible. But these panels still don't really line up all that great for me. This side seems to work a little bit better. But when you just turn it upside down, and it's just the entire robot mode, just sloppily tucked underneath, nothing pegs into place. It's just the laziest thing I've ever seen. And I just don't understand. Like, they can't make a good Arcee figure. And I mean, I get it. Because she has such ridiculously slender proportions, it's hard to have any of that actually transform into part of a vehicle. I get it. I felt like the one they did back in Generations wasn't too bad, and I don't really understand why they have such a problem ever since then. Like, I get it. She's almost always a shell former. She's always got kind of a giant backpack. But I even look at the Cyberverse one, which, yes, had a giant backpack, but actually was a decent robot mode, transformed into a pretty cool little vehicle, and it actually worked. And these came out about the same time. I don't really understand why this one is so lame. And I mean, at the end of the day, you know, does this vehicle mode look okay? If you're just looking at it like this and you don't look underneath, sure, it looks alright. It looks alright. I mean, it's not amazing, but it looks alright. And yes, the robot mode on its own, once you can take the half of the backpack off, it's okay. But it's just so lazy. I mean, this is like the new epitome of shell former laziness. I mean, I'm sorry. That's just the entire robot mode just sloppily tucked underneath. Doesn't even peg in. Doesn't even like have an actual spot. It's like they just completely phoned it in. Now again, you have that weirdly colored translucent gun. There's not really anywhere to mount it under here. Actually, I guess is it supposed to peg in here? Maybe that is actually supposed to peg in there. Yeah, okay. I guess that is. But it doesn't really like fit. Oh, it like barely clears the wheels. So alright, I guess that does. I was gonna say there's not really anywhere to peg it in up top, like to have it as a weapon. You can kind of put it in these tab holes, but it's a kind of a loose connection because it's not really meant for it. But I mean, I guess it kind of works. But you can actually store it in here, so that's good. That's something at least. But yeah, I don't know. It's just honestly, even the Titans Return Headmaster I thought was a better Arcee than this. I wish I had some of them handy. I wish I had the Generations one handy, because I really didn't think that one was that bad. I mean, she's always going to have a backpack to some degree, because it's impossible to have this kind of I get it. It's just because of the way her robot mode is designed. But this is just super, super lazy to me. So honestly, I think this one could be a pass. If you have the original Generations Arcee, or even the Cyberverse Arcee, I would say skip this one. I'm really not impressed with it at all. Now, if you don't have any other version of Arcee and you just want this Arcee action figure to put on your shelf and just, you know, be in robot mode all the time, then okay. I think, honestly, at the end of the day, if this was just like a non-transforming action figure, I would say, oh, Arcee looks okay. Because she does. She looks like the cartoon, the movie, whatever you want to say. And I think the accessory is a little lame. I would have given her a better gun. You know, if it was just an action figure, obviously they could have cleaned up this section a little bit more. But overall, just as an action figure, this right here looks okay. I don't really have any problem with like super loose joints or anything. If anything, the second thigh joints are super tight and it's kind of annoying when you're trying to transform her. She's got decent sized heels. I don't think she's going to fall over anytime. Like I said, the ankle tilt is not the best, but over time that might loosen up a little bit. Just as an action figure like this, she's okay. Not amazing, but she's okay. As far as a transformer, I think she's severely lacking. I think the vehicle mode is kind of lackluster. It's just kind of a box with a fin on the back of it. The transformation is sloppy at best. I mean, you literally just form a box and then tuck the robot parts up underneath the box. It's literally all it is. You can have the entire box just on her back like a turtle shell. I do at least appreciate that they let you take this off so it doesn't look so ridiculous. And, you know, this adds a lot of weight that makes it hard for her to stand. But trying to pretend like she's supposed to stand on this like it's some kind of surfboard, I see what you're going for, but nice try. I'm sorry. I'm not buying that pitch. I'm not buying that as some kind of surfboard, hoverboard, whatever you want to call it. You didn't know what to do with this boxy shell. You were just nice enough to let us take it off. Just put it off to the side. So, honestly, I feel like every version of Arcee that's come out in the past 5 years is better than this one. But if you have no Arcee and this is the only one you can track down, just as a figure, it's okay. I think the vehicle mode and the transformation are definitely subpar. And I'm kind of upset that I have to buy another version of this mold just to get Ratchet later on. But what are you going to do? So, let me know what you guys think. Am I overreacting? You know, because I don't know. I go back and forth on this. Like, I try to give it a chance and I try to be positive, and that's why I'm trying to say I think the robot mode just as an action figure is fine. It's really the transformation in the vehicle mode that I have trouble with. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I want to hear your opinions. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I try not to be overly negative, but just kind of disappointed by this one. A lot of aspects of this one just kind of disappointed me. But thank you guys so much for watching.